Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to you brothers that's pushing the truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Alright, I'm going to try this video again. Alright, I'm going to get into this video about, you know, what's going on with a lot of our women right now and the spirit that they're coming under. They're coming under the spirit, basically the spirit that Esau's under. You know, but, you know, it's kind of righteous for Esau to be under the spirit because it was written about him to be under the spirit and he was created to be the devil. But, you know, it's a lot of our women right now under the same spirit, you know, and some of you brothers might be dealing with this spirit, and unless you can call it out, you know, and see it for what it is, it might drive you mad because, you know, and again, the spirit is not just the spirit that's on women. You could be dealing with the same spirit at work and things like that, but this is just something you have to look into to be able to recognize it. And so, because if you can recognize it, this shit will drive you kind of crazy, you know. First scripture I want to jump into is Isaiah 47, verse 7 through 12. Again, I know this is talking about Esau, but as well, the same spirit is upon our people as well, you know. Isaiah 47, verse 7 says, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. So thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Okay, therefore hear now this, thou that dwellest. Let me slack here. Verse 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwell carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Okay, so that's basically where the point is right there. It says, okay, I can actually go further on. It says, but let me reread that. It says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures and dwell carelessly. Okay, so, you know, you're in that mindset state that you just basically want to fulfill your own fantasies and your own lusts. You just out with having fun, doing your own thing. You're not really worried about what's going on. You're not worried about the truth, pushing the truth and pushing the word. You're not worried about none of this stuff. You're just worried about living, you know, in your own pleasures and living carelessly. It says, in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You know, again, like I said, this is basically talking about Esau, but as well, our people have the same spirit on them. And, you know, through a couple more scriptures, you know, you'll be able to see this, you know. It says, that I am and none else beside me. That's a heavy spirit. That's like pride. This is basically where this demon is going to rest at. It's going to be saying that I am and it's none else, you know. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment of one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for thy great abundance of thine enchantment. Okay, now there's definitely some sorceries and enchantment that's going on here when I further break this down and I give you this definition. It says, for thou trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seest me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, okay, thy wisdom and thy knowledge has perverted thee. Okay, and thou that said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from where it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou hast not known. Okay, stand now with thy enchantment and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So if it be so, thou shalt be able to profit, and if it's so, thou mayest be able to prevail. Mayest prevail. So it's basically saying, like, getting into the pride of an individual. You know, this individual, again, is talking about Esau. But, you know, again, our people have that same pride. Sometimes you try to tell them the truth, tell them what's going on, and be like, ah, they ain't, you know, again, they're believing on Esau. Now, I got a good job, I got this, I got that, Esau taking care of me, that ain't gonna happen. This ain't gonna happen. Well, I am. What I got going on is way more important than what, you know, with the scenario you talking about, you know. And so, it's definitely, I want to drill into the point of the I am part, you know. You know, when people were sitting there with that pride and they're like, nah, this is what I got going on. I don't care what y'all got going on, but what I got going on. When you start hearing people talk like that, and you can hear it in their speech, a lot of the things revolve only around them. Okay? And the next scripture I want to get into is Matthew 24, verse 10. It says, "Then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another." Okay, so many people are going to be offended, and they're going to start to hate one another and stuff like that. So when you start to break down certain of these things, now again, this scripture is going into other things, but as well as to this, it's talking about a certain time and a scenario. When you try to break these things down, especially this one spirit down to people and try to help them with them, they become defensive. And they try to argue with you about what's not going on. They always try to turn it back around. Everything is always about them until you try to put that mirror up in their face and they turn it back on around, on other people else. It's like these people are super sick, but the people that are suffering from it are the people around them, not necessarily them. So it says, Matthew 24 and 10 again, it says, "Then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another." Okay, let me jump down to verse 12. "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." Okay, so this same iniquity, what is the iniquity? It's the pride, the I am, thinking about themselves. So the love of many shall wax cold. When you only thinking about yourself, you have, growing up, some parents, some single mothers leave their kids at the house or locked up this place or that place so they can go out and go clubbing. The love of many shall wax cold. When you start caring about yourself only and just yourself by itself, just you, the love of many, everybody else is wax cold. You're not caring about them. He says, "I am and none else other beside me." Again, it's focusing on just you. Okay, let me get to this last scripture real quick, and I'm gonna bring out a definition. This is 2 Timothy's 3 verse 1, and I'm gonna go through verse 4. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own self." Okay, this is where the point is. Men shall become lovers of their own self, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. Okay, now natural affection is you caring for yourself and everybody else. Love yourself and your brothers, the other people around you. You basically in a big team type of thing. You live on a planet with other people. So for an example, if you was to destroy the planet because you didn't care about all of that, it's, other people are going to suffer as well. You'd be like, well, I feel like I want to blow up the planet because that's what's going to make me happy. Well, what about the other 7 billion people that's on the planet? How is that going to make them feel? So they're only thinking about their own self. Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, probably heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Okay, and so these people, again, when you go into these people pretty much have a big proud spirit on them, and it's kind of hard for me to break down like that, to put the main word on it like that. Again, that's why I said when I bring out this definition, this is going to be the definition that encompass all this into one vessel. But you brothers see it all the time, when you see people like, I don't care about that. And again, you'll hear it in their speeches, Now I want to bring out this definition. This is the definition for a narcissist, okay? It says the pursuit of gratification, okay? You're looking for gratification from vanity or egotistic admiration of self, okay? Now this comes from the Greeks, which is the Edomites, okay? Like I said, that first scripture I read was mainly talking about Esau because that's who he is in his spirit, But at the same time, we become, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, The whole planet right now, especially our people, are following the heathens right now, the Gentiles right now. They're following after Esau, so they're becoming like their God. At the same time, if you brothers do any research on narcissistic behavior, you go on YouTube and watch videos about this, you might have to search for a little while and dig a little deep, but you'll find out behind this here word that they have, there is a huge demon behind this, and this demon is basically it's like that pride, it's like the scriptures I was breaking down. It says, "I am in my own heart." And now you might have people, now narcissist person, there's many different levels of it. Some people, you might find one narcissist that might seem super nice to people, that's always giving to people, Like, oh, I give to these people, those people. I want to do something nice for these people or those people. But when you sit there and you really think about it, these people are only doing this so that they can be worshipped. You might have an individual that says, you know, oh, remember when I bought you this? Or remember when I bought you that? They bought you that object not because they wanted you to have it. They bought you that so they could come back like, remember when I did this for you? Now you should return and worship me for this in some kind of way or some kind of form. Or, oh, look what I did. Or I'm the one who built this. Or this is my car. Or this is my this or my that. There are plenty of times when you can speak, when you talking about something that is of yours. Oh no, those are my pants over there. Somebody asks, whose is this? Oh, that's mine over there. But then there's a difference in the way you speak about certain things when you speak in a way, in a sense that everything is coming from your perspective and your view. You don't care about anything else, and some of these people will give the same advice, but it only pertains to them. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was trying to get me to see a certain point, and I was like, I see your point. This person can do whatever they want to do because they're in their own whatever. But don't try to take up for this person because of, who you say that they are and your own feelings. But at the same time, the next person, the advice you're trying to give me to believe in, you're not taking that to the next person. You're only looking at this one person like that. If you say, for an example, somebody would say, hey, look, thou shalt not steal. Okay, that's fine. You shouldn't steal. That's talking about for any and everybody. But if you just say, don't steal from that person. Okay, when they're just when you're only talking about that person, like don't steal from don't steal, but at the same time they're leading you to steal from this person. Well, what about them? Well, they don't matter. You just don't steal from me. Well, you don't really care about anybody else. You only care about your own self. This is a narcissistic person. And like I said, it's going to be kind of hard to break down. This is one of those things where you have to be in the moment, and when you go back and you think about it, this stuff like this is a narcissistic person. They're only thinking about themselves and self-willedness. Some people will be like, I'm trying to give you some other examples. Somebody might be having a party or something like that, and one person might be like, hey, you know what, we can have the party over at my house. And and people might think, in their mind, okay, cool, now we got a place to have a party at. But now this other person is going around saying all the time, like, they always having parties at my house. They always doing this at my house. They always party at my house, or they do this and do that. Whenever they have that room to have people come back to worship them, Like, I know quite a bit of people who do this all the time. The only time they do something, the only time they'll want to buy you something, do something nice for you, it's for they're going to be like, remember when I bought you that? Remember when I bought this? Oh, I bought that for you. And then sometimes they'll even claim that they got stuff for you that they never bought. Like, remember when I bought this for you? Like, well, you didn't buy that for me. I clearly remember buying that for myself. Or, they try to take something because they are who they are. They're like, ooh, that's my favorite color about something. Like, yeah, I know, but I bought it for me because I wanted it, I didn't buy it for you. Well, you should give it to me because that's my favorite color. See, we should bow down to you because you want us to worship you is what you're really saying. It's not because if you really liked it like that, like, why don't you can you buy me one? Can you get one for me? Why should I have to take the one I have off for, to give to you basically is just to worship you, Again, like I said, it's kind of hard to pinpoint. Again, we're dealing with a demon here. But if you brothers go into YouTube and you look up narcissistic behavior or narcissism, let me give you the spelling. NARCISSIST, narcissist. Okay, and you can change the N into narcissism, narcissist, things like that, and look up the don't really look into the definition because the definition is pretty bold. It's basically telling you it's somebody who is egotistic or vain and stuff like that, but it's a lot deeper than that, and maybe hear some testimonies about some of the people who do this, because it can come in many different forms and fashions. You might have the straight out bold and evil narcissist that's out there blatant as you can tell, but then you also have the nice and hidden ones. A lot of the times on your job you'll be working for a narcissistic boss, and for you brothers in the truth, you're doing things righteously and things like that. You'll run into these people quite often because these people are pretty much demons that just suck life away from any and everybody, and when you come around them, it's kind of like it's kind of like you got your light is shining in the darkness. You know, you come on, you start out with a small light when you first become around them, you know, and they try to, you know, feed off you, because narcissists need people to feed off of. They feed off of the life of other people. And once they see your light, you know, and your lights get brighter and brighter, you start shining around them and you start calling them out for what they're doing. They don't like that. And once you get bright enough to start exposing them, then things start going horribly wrong. And you wonder, how is it that, you know, I'm being so-called persecuted for righteousness, like the scriptures say, you know? It's basically, it's like the whole thing with Esau. You know, Esau basically mad because we calling him out on his bullshit. We didn't caught you with your shit, and you mad now that we calling you out about it, and you know you about to go down. But he's saying in his heart, we don't care what the scriptures say, the Most High say, but look at the planet that I got. You know, look at what I'm doing. I got transhumanism, but it ain't about what you say. It's about what the Most High say. That's a narcissistic belief. You believe that we didn't evolve and became here this type of way, you know. You want us all to believe in what you believe in for your own thing, to make you feel better. All the things that Esau has taught us and all this stuff just make him feel better about himself, because he's a low and vile base man, you know. So he has to have us all worship him because he's down and he's got a low self-esteem, basically, you know. But at the same time, when our people is doing the same thing, you know, you'll see this with parents and their kids and stuff like that, you know. Sometimes a parent will go get their kids all kind of fresh clothes and stuff, but it's not for the kid. It's for everybody else to look at, like, look what that parent bought for that kid. Look what they did for this person, that person, you know. They want to be praised and be worshipped, you know. So again, you brothers need to look into this narcissism, this demon, you know. It's literally a demon. You look into this demon and you'll find out about this, and you'll be a little more, how I say, aware of this spirit here. So when you come across it, which you probably more than likely will come across it damn near daily, you'll know how to combat with that. You know, like, this isn't a person who's doing this. This is just a you know, a demon that's around me. One quick other little story. I knew a chick one day. I knew a chick who, you know, had a job. She was working at a bank, and she worked with this other chick at the bank, and she didn't like the other chick, you know. And this subtile beast here, you know, like most Jake, if Jake don't like you, you're gonna know Jake don't like you. They're gonna call you all the way out right then and there, you know. But this Edomite chick, you know, she didn't like this other Edomite chick, or I don't know if the other chick was an Edomite or not, but she didn't like the other chick. But instead of just telling her, oh, I don't like you, and, you know, letting the chick know that she didn't like her and stuff like that, she was real nice to the chick. Like, she befriended this chick, came up real close to the chick, you know. And she realized that the other chick was, you know, was a lot weaker than her. And this chick basically just, I don't know if I could put my finger on it all the way, if she wanted to be worshipped or what her deal was, but she didn't like the other chick, so she didn't want to work with the other chick. And instead of asking, hey, can I be moved away from working with the other chick, looking for another job, and which after this she went and got another job anyway, but she destroyed this one person's life. That's another thing. Narcissists, their whole motive is to basically to get off on destroying other people's lives, you know. So this chick wound up going into work and befriending the other chick and making the other chick feel like they was real close and friends, and she really cared about her, this and that, had the best intentions for her. And so, you know, the other chick had been working at this bank for quite a while, just had a baby, was going along with her family. And so the chick that I know started boosting up her head, telling her, you know, you've been here for a while, you deserve better. You deserve a better job than this. You deserve this and that. How about this? I'll help you look for another job, and I'll find another job for you. So she went and found the girl another job and stuff like that, right? She got her a job that she knew she could get hired at, but she wasn't smart enough or able to keep the job, so she would get fired from the job not that far after, right? And with this lady working in the banking industry for so long, she didn't have too many choices to go afterwards. So she did what she got the other lady a job, got her a better job, more money and all this stuff, you know, got her passed through the interview and everything. So this chick is over here like, oh my gosh, you're such a good friend, you're such this and that, and blah, 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 blah. Little did she know that the girl who set her up, you know, she's no longer working with the chick at the job no more, and the other girl went off to this other job who shortly after lose her job, and her whole life is gonna come down, you know. She done already plugged some stuff in her mind about her and her husband and how he's taking advantage of her, and now, you know, she planted that seed in her mind. You know, now she's about to lose her job, and she just had a baby, you know. Now this woman's life is about to be super destroyed. Now she done lost her so-called working foundation, her stable foundation with her husband. Now she has a child. now she's all, and a bunch of calamities are coming down upon her because this one person who was showing in her face that was her friend. She had, the best intentions, but she really didn't. Now the girl who set her up, at the end of the day, she got to munch on how, look, I done destroyed another person's life, like totally destroyed this person's life. It could have, if it was just that I don't like you, she could have just cussed her out at work like, Jake could do. I don't really like you, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. That's it. I got it off my chest. But to go and to befriend somebody, make them feel like you their friend, and to get them another job that they can't handle, that they'll get fired from, it's going to look bad on their resume. And you've already planted seeds to disrupt the relationship with her and her husband. Like, you've got this girl really, messed up. But at the same time, at the end of the day, this girl is walking around praising and worshiping you because you got her another job, and you telling her, you so-called liberated her. You basically opened her up. You got her so-called sane spirit off her and just put a bunch of demons on her, But, you watch out for these people, because not everybody that's coming to you with a so-called gift, like the Bible said, a gift destroyeth the heart, roughly paraphrasing. But when people come to you with gifts and certain things like that, it's not necessarily always for your betterment or for you. A lot of people will do certain things, even if it means to sacrifice their own self, just to destroy you, and they get off on that. That's what narcissists do. And right after the girl got fired from her job, the girl who had set her up and all that got bored with the rest of the people playing with them out of there and wound up leaving that job and go finding another job anyway. And and I don't know what she's doing now, but that was one of the things. Like, man, you could have just left that chick. You came to this job where this chick was established for a while, got the chick another job where she would get fired, ran through the rest of the people at the job, messing with them emotionally and mentally, and then you're not there no more. Like, this is basically what a narcissistic person is, narcissism. You brothers look it up. Hopefully this video was edifying. I want to say all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, and salutation to you brothers pushing truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Shalom.